You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What's up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 205. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter. Sure. And I'm joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner, at Roro.
Greetings.
Greetings, sir. Wait, are you an alien? You said that like in a weird alien way. Like, greetings.
It could be.
I got nothing to add to that.
The host of Large Popcorn and video essayist, Christian Macias, at ISO Christian.
Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6.
Oh my god.
Security.
Yeah, get him out of here. And the DMZ daddy, the Tarkov Teletubby, Gage Dempster, at Gilbo Biggins.
I'll do the second half of that. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm disappointed.
Super disappointing.
Jesus. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. You are not disappointing to us. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our Gamescom opening night live reveals that we got for 2023. We're going to talk about them. What? Oh my god, of course. The sound bites have started. We do have a little bit of housekeeping here that I forgot to address last week, and then I heard from Glenn. So here we go, Glenn. Congratulations to friend of the show, Glenn and Emma, on their engagement. Congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's go.
It's huge. That's exciting. I want the story. I don't know you, like on a personal level, but I still want the story. Type it in chat really fast.
A long story, yeah. The whole episode, just type it in chat. We'll read it after. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites, guys, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The Walking Dead Destinies has been announced. It's a new game coming. It looks very low budget from the screens they showed, which is a little disappointing because when I heard the premise of this, it sounded interesting, where you could basically change the narrative of the first 4 seasons of The Walking Dead. But yeah, it does look very low budget. I don't know.
Daniel, saying it looks low budget is the most generous thing I've heard. This looks worse than that really bad first-person shooter Walking Dead game that came out like right after the show. It was like Daryl Dixon or something like that. This looks worse than that, and that looked bad then.
Yeah,
this is no bueno. I which is disappointing because I also thought the premise was kind of neat too, but I don't think this is going to be on anyone's radar.
No.
Don't Dead open inside.
Hell yeah, brother!
Nice.
I'm looking at the images.
Nice.
You know
Images
what?
don't do it justice. You got to see it in motion. It's so bad. Oh my god!
I was when you guys were saying it's low budget. I was only looking at the picture. I was like, it doesn't look so bad. Then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh god.
Do we think that video games are a mistake sometimes?
Absolutely.
Is this a mistake, though? The Xbox 360 store is set to close in July of 2024. Microsoft is closing the store down. You'll still be able to continue purchasing backward-compatible Xbox 360 games after the closure. So this is basically just affecting everything that is not backwards compatible. So I guess disappointing if you're still on Xbox 360 or if you want to access those games that are not backwards compatible.
I'm sorry, I was watching the Walking Dead trailer.
Pretty bad, right?
It looked a little goofy. It looked a little goofy and stiff the way people were fighting. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
I saw Shane moving.
Exactly. When he grabs his gun.
Oops. Anyway, Xbox 360. That's crazy.
Yeah. Indeed.
It is sad news, man. But I don't know. Luckily, I think Xbox's backwards compatibility is still just as awesome as ever. So if there are any games that you still want to get, RIP to the 360 arcade games, add those now.
All right. Moving on from there, Xbox Series X console wraps have been announced, including a Starfield-themed one. You can get a Starfield-themed Arctic camo or mineral camo, which these are actually kind of neat. I'm actually surprised at how well made these are, I guess. Like, pretty cool that they did this. Kind of like the plates for the PS5, except not permanent. And let's just hope that these are not limited to the point where, you can't buy them. But
none of you guys laughed at my joke in the Twitter chat yesterday when Dan sent this. They look like the book socks you would put over your textbooks in middle school, like the book covers.
I didn't realize you were referencing this. Okay, now it makes sense.
Gage is muted.
Oh,
I don't know. I have it. There's nothing important being said. It's fine.
My real take is I heard the fabric is actually pretty high quality, and that it's going to change the game for like customization when these actually come out, and kind of put pressure on Sony to do some cool stuff aside from the faceplates. But when I first saw this, my immediate reaction was like, the book covers.
Yeah, I'm actually really pleased that they actually took some sort of design liberties. It's not just vinyl that you have to apply yourself, and hopefully you have the motor skills to line it up properly, and or the lack of anxiety to not shake and tremble as you put this one-time peel on. So the fact that it is kind of this cool, like almost iPad cover-esque type thing, like that, I think it's really cool. Now, for people like you and me, Dan, we both have the limited edition Series X. So I was like, this is really cool. I almost wish I wanted to take advantage of this, but it would be kind of a moot point.
Yeah. And it does save people from having to buy those limited edition consoles. So seemingly,
absolutely,
maybe they won't do
it's a win-win.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Alan Wake 2 has been delayed 10 days to October 27th. Of course, that day of October 14th to 17th, that like those dates were like really filled with games. I think Mirage was there too, and they moved a week forward. So like that date's now like starting to open up, and it's like now I gotta wait until after Spider-Man for Alan Wake 2, because this game, we'll talk about it later. But
this is now going to take a backseat not just to Spider-Man, but Ghost Runner. Oh, I'm sorry, you have that down the line. So some other game that will remain nameless.
Yeah, that game is Ghost Runner 2, which is launching October 26th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. Will I actually be able to beat this one? Who knows?
What are your thoughts, though, for real, on the actual delay from 10 days. Yeah, so to October 27th. Like you coming in the later half of the big like October push of the fall games. Like, sure, it's closer to Halloween. I think it's great, like theme wise, or I guess, like, you know what I mean. But being on the back end of like the bigger games is might not be the best move.
It's true. They may not have pushed it enough. Like, because they even said that they pushed it because of the release date of other games. Like, they were very transparent. They're like, we wanted to get out of the way of these other games, but they may not have pushed it enough.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving into some nice, heartwarming stories here. Bungie is doing a fundraising campaign for Maui. Of course, if you haven't heard, the terrible destruction of Maui is awful. And Bungie's selling a t-shirt that they're giving 100% of the profits to Direct Relief, which is their partner that they work with for the wildfire recovery operations in Maui. And you also get a new emblem as well with the t-shirt, so that's pretty cool. And kind of on the back of that as well, they also announced that the Destiny showcase that they had, that was live on Twitch and YouTube and everything, all their profits from the subs for their Twitch channel during that showcase were all being donated to the Guardians for Maui campaign as well, which is really, really neat.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Just like this other Bungie news, which is incubation at Bungie is focused on developing inclusive worlds, which takes time and team members with diverse backgrounds. So we're actively hiring in fully remote roles. Interesting. So that doesn't sound like much of an announcement there, but moving on top of that, they add one of our favorite incubation projects is a team-based action game inspired by several genres in a brand new science fantasy universe. It draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games wrapped up in a lighthearted comedic world. The team's designing for depth, mastery, and Bungie's signature action feel, as well as a friendly, inclusive community. We are actively hiring for this project and other small project teams. So if you want to build a new type of Bungie game, join us. So essentially announced a new game without announcing it, and more to come.
This is the best time just to end Destiny altogether. Focus on this new project and on Marathon. You know what I mean?
It's over.
It's Jover. Destiny's Jover. The final shape is the final act
of the Light and Dark saga.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the just like the MCU is still going, but is anyone watching?
Ooh.
Some people do, and they'll still enjoy it for what it is.
Will they enjoy it, or will they just watch it?
Destiny players hate Destiny. They love nothing more than hating Destiny.
Yeah,
and I'm one of them. In a way,
that's a lot of things. Fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life.
Frog type.
Type. What is a frog type game?
Frogger.
Like, that's the only thing that comes to mind. Like, what else? That's so weird. I'm interested to see what that is, though.
That one mini game in Pummel Party. That's like Frog.
Super game.
Yeah.
Whole party, man.
Oh, you guys trying to play this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
It's my last weekend before I leave for vacation. So.
Before Dan's dead forever.
Wow, Jesus. Hopefully, no hurricane takes me out on the ship or something. I don't know.
Well, now you made it real. Well, I wasn't even given specifics, but I mean, yeah, that could happen.
If that happens, I'm leaving the podcast and everything that it's worth to Ro and Christian. Sorry, Gage.
No, Gage?
No, I mean,
for that comment.
I was going to say that's fair because I was expecting you to stop at Ro, but if you're giving Christian some of this, then I also expect.
Well, it's for that comment. Is that for that comment?
I didn't say I hope it happens. I just said that your time is short.
That's so much better. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, a little bit of sadder news, I guess. David Vonderhaar has announced that he's leaving Treyarch after 18 years working there. He has worked with Treyarch since Call of Duty 2 Big Red One through Black Ops Cold War. Insane. This man is, he's always been genuinely excited about his project, so it is sad to see him leaving.
It is genuinely Jover at Treyarch. Or, yeah. Like the old guards of Call of Duty are like really gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to. I mean, I guess the only thing we have to hope is that he passed his passion and sort of, talent to the next person.
This does not bode well for like Treyarch's game that's coming out in a year.
Maybe though, because we always talk about that. When in the development cycle of a game, when people start leaving, is it a bad thing versus the foundation's laid,
fair.
Right? Like that's
You're
the
right.
thing. And somebody brought up a good point too. I didn't even realize this, but with the whole shuffle that happened with Modern Warfare 3 coming out, Black Ops is actually getting an extra year of development this time. So it'll be kind of interesting to see, because at this point they've had their 3 years, so now they've got an extra year of polish. I know I crash too, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Either way, I do agree. All in all, this is a negative because this guy has been super influential, in not only in terms of the Call of Duty franchise, but just in terms of specifically the Black Ops sort of sub franchise that Treyarch has headed the last 10 years almost. More than 10 years now.
We'll talk about Treyarch because it gets weird because they also helped out with a mode in the upcoming Call of Duty title, which is later on the show. We'll save those thoughts there.
Indeed. Speaking of Activision owned studios and such, Microsoft is selling off Activision Blizzard cloud gaming rights to Ubisoft to get UK CMA approval. This comes today, of course, with Microsoft trying to make concessions to the UK CMA to get approved over there. And Ubisoft announces the Ubisoft Plus lineup is expanding. We're excited to announce a new agreement that will bring Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft Plus via streaming upon completion of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We'll also be licensing the games to a range of cloud streaming and subscription services, which very interesting because somebody made this comment actually that this is brilliant for Ubisoft because they could literally just make easy money where essentially they would license Activision Blizzard cloud gaming to Microsoft for a little bit more than what they're paying Microsoft to divest this from their ownership. So essentially Ubisoft's just making money by doing this, like easy money. They know they're going to make money from this deal.
Right.
And it gives them other avenues in the UK as well, but very interesting.
Do you know what makes it even more brilliant?
What?
Is that of all the medium-sized AAA publishers for Microsoft to sell this to, they sold it to the one that might be gone in 2 years, in which case Microsoft will swoop right back in to pick up those licensing deals. Like when you compare Ubisoft to like the other medium-sized AAA publishers, like your Capcoms and your EAs, Ubisoft is the one that's not in a renaissance right now and is kind of struggling a little bit. So when I saw Microsoft chose Ubisoft of all places, I was like, I bet you they wouldn't be too sad if Ubisoft folded in 2 years' time and they swooped right back in for those licensing rights. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I love Ubisoft IP, but I'm just saying, of all the places to go, Ubisoft is getting the exclusive licensing rights to your Call of Duty streaming games. Okay, interesting.
More like you be gone.
More like you being too soft. Time to leave.
It's more like you be sold. Which episode was that? I don't remember, but I remember that was one of our titles.
That's a good title.
You be sold.
That was almost certainly a Christian episode.
It probably was. I don't know. I don't remember.
In our Christian Minecraft server.
Wow.
Did we hold on? Okay. I went into our Google Doc that I labeled PXN predictions and subtitle 2023. So for our 2023 section, one of them is 2023 Metacritic predictions. I wanted to make sure we got an Assassin's Creed Mirage in there. We do.
Do those soundboard clips play for the audience, or is that just throwing us off track?
Oh, it 100% plays for the audience.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh jeez.
Well, for some reason, when things are heated and you're in the middle of a pummel party match and somebody hits one of those, it just hits differently.
Yeah. When I hear Dan's soundboard, what?
Yeah.
Or when someone buys a cup or whatever.
Right.
I would say we need "Let's Go," but I can just summon that on the fly.
I was gonna say it's gotten to the point now where Croissant
Bros
and
emoting.
myself, everyone, we're getting good at all mimicking that on our own.
Kirik says, "Will we see WoW on Xbox now?" Maybe, like in terms of like streaming it. I don't know that it'll come natively to Xbox anytime soon, but
No.
All right. Some sad news maybe for some people out there. Canceled Immortals Phoenix Rising had some sequel info that was leaked. According to a new report on Axios, Immortals 2, codenamed Oxygen within Ubisoft, would have shifted its setting to Polynesia, giving it an island vibe that would have been reminiscent of Wind Waker. What's more, it would have apparently borrowed heavily from Elden Ring, Christian, eschewing map points in favor of dropping players in a hostile world. The story would have had an environmental theme with player actions impacting the land around them. It would have featured elemental powered and shape-shifting, with players earning new tattoos based on their actions. The art style would have eschewed the cartoonier look of the original game, featuring instead characters who were more realistic. On top of all that, Immortals 2 would have reportedly dropped the original's narrator and focused away from puzzles. In short, would have been a very different game.
Interesting.
Now, what are you saying my name for?
I mean, Elden Ring.
You know.
And what? I'm supposed to? You're gonna put like a little cheese in the mousetrap for me?
Yeah.
That's not gonna get me.
I will say this certainly sounds like the type of game that a C-suite executive would go, yeah, no, we don't need this, even though you're listing off all these changes from the first game, and I'm like, wow, these all sound really like probably valid criticism they received, and looked like it sounds like it would have been a much better game, and of course this is the one that we don't get. So that's super unfortunate.
The first one didn't sell 20 million copies, so
no,
it's not.
It also didn't review well. Some people liked it, but
it didn't review horribly though, didn't it? Wasn't it like the mid 70s, which is
I think
that's
for
true.
For a first in a franchise. Like I think
You're
of
right.
like there's like a really good quote from a Japanese developer. I can't remember which one, but he's talking about like the rule of threes, right? Where it's like you have your first game to kind of prove the concept, your second game to refine, and if it's not good by the third game, then it's just time to cut it. But sometimes this seems like this could have been a really good step forward for a second iteration, and especially like Polynesian's super underrepresented in terms of like video game settings, and like I love when people try and take cultural aspects and like add it to gameplay mechanics. Like this, I don't know how it would have turned out, but the idea of like taking something like tattoos or tataus or anything like that and incorporating it into gameplay, that sounds kind of cool. It's an original idea at least, but we will not see this game. So back to Assassin's Creed Red Hex Jade.
Red Hex.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Those are all active code names, by the way. There's 3 games I just listed right there that are real.
All right.
Something wrong about canceling an Immortal sequel and then working on like 5 Assassin's Creed games.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Fair. Just cancel the bad ones.
Yeah, we just couldn't find the resources.
No, they're not all. Get out of here.
Might as well cancel Halo Infinite. See the next seasons too.
Christian.
It's funny that they didn't cancel Skull and Bones though, but they canceled.
Yes, dude.
That's what I told you guys. So I told you I don't know where I need to find that article, but there was I read an article it wasn't a video, it was not a video game newspaper. That's why it stuck out to me. But they made when I was reading it, they made a really convincing point where there's some sort of deal with Singapore government. That's why this game has to get made. Because I think about this all the time, where I'm like, there's no want for this game. There's no hype for it. And you guys have been working on it for like 10 years. I wish I could find that article and share it to you guys. Because apparently there's some sort of government deal. That's why they have to make this game.
I thought this was like Ubisoft's The Flash, where like they've spent so much money on it, they just got to put it out.
No, I think it was something to do with funding. Like they something to do with like the historical aspects of the game, or maybe it takes place around Singapore, but they received funding. At least that's what the article painted it as. They received funding from the government of Singapore, therefore they have to. Yeah. Which is why they're now like struggling to make this game look good.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. That may or may not be true. I'm gonna try and find the article though, because I don't know. When you bring up a point like that, it's like, yeah, exactly. Why? What's the point of? I don't know.
Very strange.
Ubisoft, let me tell you, the secret sauce is not in Skull and Bones. You need to shift away from that.
Speaking of shifting away.
No, speaking of Skull and Bones, Charles Oh no, I probably shouldn't say that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my god!
Christian has
I can't believe it.
Such a good one.
Sorry.
Like, nope. I got this one.
I thought Skull and Bones would work, and then I realized that sounds like death. And
you know what? The evil part of my brain really liked that transition, though.
I can't wait till me and Rose start hosting permanently. after you die.
Wow.
After your Skull and Bones.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Jeez.
Dan, you are in your 30s. You gotta start thinking about this stuff. You know what I mean?
Jesus. Charles,
Take some vitamins for crying out loud.
Take some
Some athletic greens.
Stay spawn.
Charles Martinet, guys, is stepping down as the voice of Mario and is stepping into a new role as Mario Ambassador. So he has played the character since 1991, and he will be stepping back and serving as that ambassador. It is a sad day, but
Another Nintendo L. I mean, that announcement reeked of we're shifting away from Charles. Like we don't want him. We want a new.
You think it was their decision to get rid of him?
Come on, man. Like that. No person has more passion for this character than Charles Martinet. Like this fool loves doing Mario voices. You think he's gonna just stop doing it now? Yeah, he's older, but I don't know if he would stop.
I was gonna say this isn't like a Michael Ironside situation with Splinter Cell where the man's like, yeah, I don't know if I can. Or they're like, we're doing mocap now, and you're an older gentleman. But this guy's got 6 lines of dialogue per Mario game. I definitely don't think.
Remember, he had voice or throat cancer.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. There was actually a totally legitimate reason. I totally forgot about that.
UB actually hid that for him because he didn't want to reveal it at the time.
I remember you telling me that. No, yeah, that totally shifted my perspective on that. You're right. I take that back. Although to Christian's point, this definitely feels like, instead of getting the backlash when the next Mario game gets announced and it's not him, we'll just say now that he's going to become an ambassador and not.
The next game is
Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Mario Wonder's not him. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Which I didn't even notice, which means the new voice actor's doing a great job at another Mario impression.
And fun fact, Charles Martinet is actually 6 years younger than Steve Downes, the voice of Master Chief. So you fucking replace Steve Downes, Dan's going to be rioting.
Oh, God.
How much younger is that than Daniel Brindle?
A couple of years at least.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Moving on. Certain Affinity is working on a new IP that they are showing behind closed doors at Gamescom. Of course, they have been a support studio for a very long time. Max Hoberman, their original founder, is one of the main leads on Halo 2's multiplayer and started with Halo 3's multiplayer before he left to create Certain Affinity. And it's seemingly a FPS, possible zombie-like game based on the posters that we're seeing. He just wanted to announce the project, which is called Project Loro, because they're showing it, I'm assuming, to publishers to try to get funding for it, presumably because they're an independent developer. So very interesting.
That's cool. Have they made? I'm not very familiar with Certain Affinity outside of
they
like
have,
their assistants.
Yeah,
like,
have
they made their own game?
They have never made their own game. Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. That's exciting for them.
Yeah. Very neat.
Yeah. They've got plenty of experience though. I mean, they've done multiple Halo. They've assisted on multiple Halo games. They've assisted on multiple Call of Duty games. So
yeah,
for them to, and I think World of Tanks as well. I don't know what they did there, but
a lot of big IP. Yeah.
Yeah. So for them to, for their first game to be in that genre is kind of a good sign. I actually find scenarios like this to me are almost more exciting, where you have a studio that's been learning and like assisting, and then, after this long period of gaining experience, at least you hope that's what's been happening, then they announce their first game and they're trying to, instead of crowdsourcing it and doing the early access thing, they're kind of showing behind closed doors. This to me all just kind of screams like confidence in sort of taking your time, coming up with a really good idea, getting the expertise needed, and now sort of trying to market your game. I don't know. This seems like a really good order of operation. So I'm excited to see what they got.
Indeed. The one name we've been waiting for, guys, PlayStation Portal.
That ain't in news of the week. Is a quick bite.
You wanted a news of the week?
Does it deserve to be?
No, I guess not. There's not much to say on it.
Okay. PlayStation Portal is the name of the formerly Project Q, which is the handheld remote play device for PlayStation 5. It is a $200 handheld device that puts PS5 games in the palm of your hand. I'm reading from IGN's Twitter account, of course, as long as you're on Wi-Fi. Now, there are some caveats to this as well, though. there's no Bluetooth. So you have to buy their new PlayStation Link compatible headsets, which is their proprietary wireless connectivity protocol or whatever. It doesn't have local play, which I wouldn't expect it to. It's a single handheld device. No PS5 cloud streaming, so take that as you will. And it's targeting the same battery life as DualSense controllers, which I don't like the battery life of the DualSense controller, so I don't know if I like that. But
get over it.
I think my biggest question though is why the hell would I buy this at $200 rather than just use my phone? I don't like. What is there a benefit that I'm not seeing here?
No,
like,
no, there's not. This is so lazy. This is so. I don't know. I got nothing nice to say about this. Everybody's doing handhelds. Nice. Quick, cut a DualSense in half.
Oh my god!
The little home screen looks nice. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about the price? Even though we all find it useless, like, do you think that's a good price for somebody who may find a specific use out of this?
That's the highest price I think they could possibly do without getting laughed out of the room. I think it's too much for what it's offering, but I think that if they went any higher, they'd be insane.
Yeah, because we talked about it on one episode, and I'm like I feel like it has to be $100 for it to be like mainstream successful, and double that. I don't see it being that useful. I don't.
Well, and it's not just connected to Wi-Fi. You need to have a PS5 already,
correct?
Right, as well.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not even just a streaming, and that's the thing. I don't know if how well they're advertising that, right? Because it's not even like it's the Logitech. I can't remember what, or not Logitech. Yeah, no, Logitech came up with they partnered with Xbox, I think, right, to do a Game Pass streaming device handheld where it only streams. But again, you can just buy the device, and if you have a stable internet connection, you can play games. With this, you need those two things and also the $600 console.
Yeah.
Which would have come with a controller as well. So I don't know.
For $100 more, you could get the Logitech G Cloud and stream whatever you want because it's a PC device.
And you would just use those $100 to buy the new proprietary headset to work with it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You just give Sony more money.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What's not to understand here, Dan?
Yeah.
Jim Ryan's the GOAT, honestly, for incredibly smart business decisions like this. This is so good, and I can't wait to throw my money at this dude. This is perfect. This is perfect for Dan and Ro, who love to play games on their couch.
Yeah.
If I'm being real.
Absolutely.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then while you're at it, buy the PSVR 2 headset that is getting incredible support and tons of first-party experiences.
And all of that totals up to be like $1,200 or something absurd.
Well, you can if you open up the Sony credit card, you get some pretty cool reward points you can use in the PS store to get your first year off of PlayStation Plus.
Introducing the Zone player card.
Okay, well,
you love PlayStation Star, and now. Oh my god!
PlayStation Stars
Feel
Plus
in the zone with your finances.
Nice.
Kirk says how many?
This sucks.
Kirk says how many parents are gonna buy it as a gift, thinking $200 is a deal, when they don't realize they need the PS5.
Absolutely, Kirk.
A lot. Oh god. Hopefully, the GameStop employees are gonna be like, "Yeah, go for it," and they stop them, but.
No, they got to make those sales, man. The managers are on their ass.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
End of the month deadlines, end of the year deadlines.
Oh,
dude, weekly quotas.
Yeah.
Make sure they sign up for the protection plan.
That too, yeah.
Oh, I'm always signed up for the protection plan.
Oh. Goodness.
All right. Someone added this. There's a new cool indie game that is out there. Killer Bean as an official game trailer.
Dude,
Christian?
So there's this dev who spent 2 years making a first-person and third-person open-world shooter based off the internet meme Killer Bean, and it looks like it plays just like Max Payne, where you have like bullet time. The game is insane. If you watch this trailer, it's like a minute and a half. Like the gameplay looks like actually solid and just the right amount of like jank and fun with the gameplay. Where I'm like, you know what? A couple bucks on Steam, I could probably check this out. Lord knows I had so much fun with BattleBit because the gameplay was so good. Like look at this game. It looks like it plays just well enough for me to have fun for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Describe this. I'm watching that. You described that perfectly between the line of walking that line between fluidity and jank. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. There was like they'd made an animated movie of that character a while ago on YouTube. It's pretty awesome.
And you helped make it?
Sorry, no, I did not.
It looks good, right? It's so funny.
Dude, I was gonna say when it jumps to first person, I'm like, wait, what's with these animations? These look way better than they should.
Yeah, I know. There's also jets and helicopters, and
this is ridiculous. Is this single player or is this multiplayer?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, roguelike is probably probably single player. This is hilarious. Well, this is now on my radar, and I had no idea this existed.
Shout out Killer Bean.
Killer Bean.
Well, you know what else is on your radar? This leaked image of Lenovo's gaming handheld, which shows a Nintendo Switch-like design. Thank you, IGN, Taylor Lyles. This is an interesting one because we're starting to get a lot more of these little devices, and this one I just mean like it almost exactly replicates the Nintendo Switch design. Like even to the point of the controllers, how they attach and detach and attach with the little like notch or whatever. It looks literally just like the Nintendo Switch, which I feel like that might be patented, but I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't know. There's not a single image in this story, Dan. So,
you gotta go to Windows Central. They're the ones that broke it. So they'll have the images.
My apologies. I linked to the wrong one.
You know what I will say? Lenovo, the last few years, has been having a little bit of a renaissance when it comes to their portable hardware. Their laptops, especially the Legion series, have been getting extremely good reviews. Those are the ones that I've been eyeing. So, for the next major PC OEM sort of manufacturer to get into this, Lenovo seems like a good choice. And from what I've seen, I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. Be interesting to see. Our ROG Ally seemed really promising at first, and now it's kind of had a bit of that Asus quality misfortune, we'll call it, with melting people's SD cards. So if this game or if this console, I don't know. I got a positive look on this. I think it looks sharp. It looks beefy, which I like for a handheld. Don't try and make it as thin as possible. This is a handheld gaming console. I want to be able to play it for more than an hour and a half, please.
The thing for me is that there are already too much of these in the market for me to care about anymore.
Right. But has there been one
competition is good?
Yeah.
No, the Steam Deck probably.
Okay, I was gonna say, has there been one for you that meets, like, for me that's the thing, like Steam Deck, the price is there, but the specs aren't. And then for ROG Ally, the specs are there, but the durability and reliability isn't. So I'm still waiting for that. I get what you're saying. It's totally becoming like this has the potential to be a really oversaturated market in like 2 years' time. But for me, there still hasn't been that one that's kind of like sold. I'll do it.
If one gets it right, though, like that's all.
Right.
Yeah.
The other issue we're not talking about also though is Windows 11/10 doesn't have an interface that works really well on this type of device. So like Microsoft's gonna have to do something for these devices, otherwise it's gonna be not as great of an experience to try to use these. But of course it'll still work, but it's not optimized for this.
Which comes the pros and cons too, right? Because I did hear reviewers when I was watching a review recently about comparing, like, say, the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, and that was one of the things they brought up. The double-edged sword with that is because it is running stock Windows 11. Troubleshooting is fairly simple, right? If you have issues with your handheld, operating system-wise, you can just go to Google and look up Windows 11 stuff, and hopefully there'll already be a fix for it. But then the other problem is that navigating it and actually making it feel intuitive, it's not quite the same as like the Linux-based Steam Deck, which has its own custom UI and is really nice and snappy. So definitely pros and cons there. Yeah.
All right, let's move into the PXN news of the week, and Ro is gonna be real ready to go for this one, I'm sure. Nice.
Will I be? Will I be, though?
I mean, maybe you won't be. Well, I guess we'll find out. Destiny 2, the Final Shape Showcase. We got to look at all the new stuff coming for Destiny 2, the Final Shape. It is coming February 27th, 2024. Of course, similar to the last few expansions. So long. Thank you. The Final Shape does take place inside the Traveler through the portal. The zone is the Pale Heart, where part of it is based on experiences of our own journey to get there, the Destiny 1 tower and such, and part of it is actively being reshaped by the Witness into darkness, weirdness. The Traveler is asking us for help, so it is not dead. The Witness wants everything in the universe to be frozen perfection, which is the Final Shape.
This is bad.
Yeah. Everybody is coming back. Cade 6 is back. Zavala, Savathun, Ghost, everyone's back. But yeah, I won't go into literally every single thing here because there's a lot here. But one of the things that stood out to me is what I read at the start there when I was watching the reveal. I thought it was very cool that they're kind of shaping like your experience at the start of this campaign by like things you've seen in the past. So like it changes and it gets like darker as you go along. This is their first time doing a linear progression through a campaign, which is I find also interesting because you can kind of craft the narrative a bit more, which I think was one criticism that we had of why am I forgetting the name?
Lightfall?
The last expansion. Yeah, Lightfall. Thank you. Yes, that was one criticism we had with that. It was not as good of a campaign experience, so maybe the linearness will help with that to make it feel more crafted. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. It's gonna just slowly take us down a dark path.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it being more streamlined could help it just have, like you said, a bit more structure, being able to tell the story that they're meaning to tell, and not have all these missions that are kind of just there as fluff and more, like you said, streamlined. It would probably make a better experience. A lot of people are upset that this seems like more reskinning, which I can understand.
True.
But I feel like it has more of a story reason than the past experiences. But I can understand that gripe because it's happened so many times already that this just doesn't feel like a good excuse anymore. It just feels like, oh, they're reskinning again, even though the excuse is a justified one this time. They did it so many times before that it's like, oh boy, here we go again. But yeah, that's the first issue that I think people had with this expansion.
Which is fair. That's a fair criticism for sure. Christian, are you going to dive into the Final Shape?
I don't know yet. I thought Lightfall was so lackluster in terms of I wouldn't say replayability, but just the amount of activities to do during the season were just not fun. To the point where like I had my time with the campaign, which I thought was like fine enough, and then bounced. Like I felt no reason to continue doing some of this stuff here. I like some of the additions to campaign. I really hope that this needs to be as narratively rich, I think, as Witch Queen. For it to like resonate with the Destiny audience. What I'm really hoping for is like the ramp up before is like good as well. Like in the next few seasons, getting people back into like the PvP rotation too. I know they're doing a big PvP overhaul, introducing a bunch of maps as well. Like the Final Shape needs to make Destiny like almost a different game and not feel like the same game for it to like I think really be a strong season. And that would bring me back probably if it felt truly like a unique experience. Otherwise, you know, I know what to expect.
Totally fair.
Sorry. Go ahead, Gage. No, I could do it after.
I was just gonna ask Gage if he's ever gonna go back to Destiny. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be willing. Well, first of all, I would definitely be willing if it was like you guys want help with a raid or get in there and do some group stuff. I like on my own. I don't know if like Destiny's at this point with how far into the life cycle this game is. It's only ever really a social sort of option for me. I don't think it's possible for me to get into it by myself and get reinvested. I did that first time around with Destiny 1. I went around ringing the bells to everyone. Destiny's going to be the greatest game ever made. And then Destiny 1. Yeah, Glenn loves to bring that up. I'm surprised he hasn't in the chat yet. But I was going around to everyone saying Bungie is God's gift to the world, and Destiny will be amazing.
Amen.
You know what? For all its problems, Gage, I look back at my time with D1, like that was fucking an electric time in gaming, where that felt
absolutely was
so fun.
Near launch, it was one of those games where like I had like 3 or 4 friends I was playing with regularly that I had never met before, and that like I just met on Destiny. Like it definitely was a moment. It was a zeitgeist for sure. But at this point, I think it would have to be Destiny 3, or if it's like a major sort of like relaunch, everybody starts fresh. Like, I feel like that's what it's going to take for me to get into Destiny. So probably the next game or Marathon, more likely.
Marathon, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Marathon.
If you guys need a third, however, and there's nobody around, I will definitely download it and give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to bring up something else as well. You might do it, so I'll let you go.
God damn it! I was going to bring up the episodes that they were going to do.
That's what I was going to do too.
They're changing the seasonal stuff, and they're changing it to something called episodes, where we're getting technically less, but also more at the same time. They're doing 3 episodes a year, and these episodes have story content, new quests, activities, weapons. So what you expect from seasons, but a little bit more. So this is how they describe it. Starting in 2024, episodes will be replacing seasons as our new way of storytelling and content update format for Destiny 2. Each episode will contain new story content and rewards, including new exotic mission, exotic weapon, and armor. Episodes will be split into 3 acts, with new acts releasing every 6 weeks, containing new stories, quests, activities, weapons, artifact, pass ranks, and all that stuff. In seasons, nowadays, the seasonal story mission is like once a week usually, and they usually aren't nothing to write home about unless it's the beginning or the end of the season where the big thing really happens. I think this spreading out the acts may have a little bit more pomp and circumstance for each story mission that comes out. So that's exciting. But we have to wait and see. Everything that Bungie announced, like the trailer they had in this showcase was like, oh, this is awesome. And then the showcase was like a kind of a dud for me personally. This sounds awesome. When it comes, will it be good? Will it be a good replacement for seasons? We don't know yet. It sounds good, but Bungie has to like always execute it for me to stick around.
That's my take too. It looks to be a bit more structured and easier to follow as a player who may or may not be like that deep into like making sure I log in all the time. This may be like an easier way to maintain me through the actual episode, not the season. Sorry, the episode. But like Rose said, will Bungie nail it by like the quality of the actual content? So wait and see for me.
I forgot also when Gage said that he was saying that he could join us if we need a third or whatever. That was one of my favorite features. I know we had this discussion in our DMs, but one of my favorite features that they're releasing with this is being able to take your light level up to the highest person in your raid party. I think that's a really cool change for people that don't necessarily have the time to grind hours and hours and hours. And I know that's controversial. I know, Christian, you feel differently, and that's, I'm sure there's Destiny fans out there that would be disappointed in this news because they are grinding all these hours. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, for people that just don't have the time to grind hours and hours and hours to get to that point to play that content, this is a cool change because you're actually able to experience this content. I haven't played the last probably 3 raids because I just don't have the time to get my character to the point to be able to do a raid. I mean, even try it. So I always resort to watching the raids on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. So.
My thing is, I'll go, Gage.
I think the immediate negative reaction people might have to this is that it feels like a balancing change, but I think what this really is an accessibility feature, because you're right, like not everybody has the time to grind however many hours it takes to get that perfect gun, to get that reroll, to get that light level, to get that XYZ. So like, I think this sounds like it's gonna negatively affect a lot of the hardcore fan base, but like, will it really? Like, if you're still grinding out that stuff, like, you can still do that. Whereas somebody, if I wanted to play with Ro, and Ro's fine with it, wants to play with me, then that gives me at least the option to. Whereas right now, it's like, okay, well, if you want to come do this with me, you need to put 30 hours into the game and hope that you get XYZ. I don't know. This sounds like an accessibility feature hidden as like a balance change.
Okay, here's my take. First of all, Dan, I don't care. I think Gage nailed it. It is easier for more casual players to enjoy, like core Destiny experiences by using something like this. The problem, though, I think why people are maybe hating is that it's not addressing issues at the gameplay or the gameplay loop level, where it's first of all, getting raid ready is just like, the idea of it is great. I think that's the kind of the foundation of between, like, once you finish the story content, you start getting ready for post game content. That stuff I think is very much the epitome of what Destiny kind of is. The problem, though, is the actual content is not fun to do for a lot of people, specifically in the Lightfall. That kind of content is not fun to do to get yourself raid ready, or even to like the higher levels of raid ready, where the stuff you're having to do for pinnacles and those higher roles is not engaging enough. So again, for casual players, I think using something like this is great, but it's kind of like overlooking the little bit of the problem with like current Destiny. IMO.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too, and I think it makes the power grind almost pointless, which is something that a lot of Destiny people have complained about with like the power system. Like, why do we even need this light system in the first place? And then they're adding this where someone technically doesn't have to do it at all. They could just join you and like, oh, I'm as strong as you because of this feature, which is a great feature. But like, maybe just get rid of the light level entirely if it doesn't matter as much as it used to.
No,
and the grind isn't as fun as it used to be.
I have a question, because you guys might know if you've been looking into this. If I say I don't know levels, I don't know points of reference, but let's say you're level 20 and that's the highest you can be right now, and that's what you need to get the raid. I'm level 10, I join your party, we do the raid. Do I get level 20 rewards, or do I still only get my level 10 rewards? In which case, I'm joining you, but I'm not really cheating the game because I'm having the experience with you, and I'm still only being... Have they explained how that works yet? Because if not, I could see how that would be a super annoying loophole to like hardcore fans.
Okay, first of all, who knows? But the second thing is like, yes, you'll be light level, but we don't know how useful you will be to the fire team, because like, the thing that's ignoring is like artifact. You will not have your artifact upgraded to the point where you're like doing like these like passive buffs to your team as you're playing, and also you're not having like the right builds in your subclass or like the right weapons, or like it's kind of ignoring some of the like the actual features of like being useful, quote unquote, in a raid. Or like, yeah, you'll be the same level as us, but you still might have a harder time despite it. So who knows? I would hope though that you are receiving higher rewards though. But I mean, would you deserve them? I guess that would be like a kind of discourse for the community.
I think that shows kind of the cracks of the issues with the whole fundamental design of the game too, though, because the whole design of the game is replayability and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. They want you to never stop playing. That's the whole point. So like that discussion of like, are we making people grind too much or too little? Like, that's all part of the problem of the design of this game, I think, is you'll never hit that satisfying point, because they've in the past taken it back where they, don't force people to do as much grinding, and then people are complaining because they don't have as much to do, and then they do it the other way, and it's like there's too much grinding. It's like I feel like that's just one of the cruxes of this type of game, I guess. I don't know.
You know what, Dan? Let me add on to that. I don't think it's the problem with this type of game per se. I think the problem is that Destiny, and I just kind of realized this in the middle of our conversation, it is a first-person shooter, But Destiny is, for all intents and purposes, an MMO. It is kind of like supposed to be a World of Warcraft type experience where you are actually supposed to be, grinding out and doing all this stuff. I think the problem is that because every other game nowadays has also turned into this commitment fest, even games like Call of Duty that are supposed to be pick up and play, that Destiny now finds itself competing with other first-person shooters for player time, whereas before they would have had their dedicated fan base playing this. Like World of Warcraft people just play World of Warcraft. That's what they do. They're invested. They're in it. They're not gonna, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is not gonna pull them away from that, right? Like that's their thing. So I feel like Destiny, I forget that sometimes that is what Destiny is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an MMO where you're committed to your character and you're invested and you're just immersed in this. But they find themselves, especially in the first-person shooter space, right? Probably trying to have to compete with player retention, player time. So now they're doing this balancing act of, this is an MMO, so we should probably just commit to the diehard fans, but also it's a first-person shooter that looks flashy and fun to casuals. So, it's probably a balancing act. And you bring up a good point. Like, this is a really tough issue with just the fundamental of the game. Like, it's not an easy problem to kind of solve one way or the other.
When you were saying, like when they were adjusting grinding levels, when there's too little to grind, it's not fun. And when there's too much to grind, it's also not fun. I think there's like different types of grinding as well. Like the power grind is just not fun. It's just not fun to grind power and light and all that kind of stuff right now, in my opinion. But chasing a weapon and grinding for a weapon is a completely different grind to me. And I think that's a little bit more fun. And like if there's more stuff to chase, isn't that what you want? Don't you want content to go after? Like the gun isn't that the point of the game, Christian, to get cool guns?
Yes, you're right, but I think the weapon grind is part of the current problem. They need to rethink the roles for it, or like the amount. Like I don't know, dude. Like,
so then what's the point of the game? Like, what are you playing it for if you're not grinding for something?
Again, that's it goes back to that's the game.
And if you don't like that, that's one thing,
right?
But then maybe don't play Destiny.
And I don't mind the grind, but there's a I don't know. I think it's the way the rewards can be tuned to make it, I don't know, a bit better.
Right. No, there's definitely something they could do to make it better, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Indeed. Only Bungie knows, I guess, or maybe.
Do they know that?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Time for me to hate on a different shooter.
Here we go.
This is where I clock out.
Yeah. All right. Item 2. Modern Warfare 3 has been revealed, and we've got a lot of details. I'm going to try and just get through this as quick as possible. The campaign seems to be taking a bit of a different direction. They are using open combat missions, which are, this is their words, an exciting innovation to the Call of Duty campaign. Not only do these complement the cinematic missions you've come to expect, but they also provide you with numerous additional choices regarding your methods of mission completion. For example, if you prefer to use stealth techniques, you may wish to undertake an OCM with a lights-out approach using night vision goggles, etc., etc. The whole point of it is that you can take stealth-based or you can go full guns blazing. So I think it's kind of neat in that regard. I think it's interesting they're going with that approach. It almost seems like, I don't want to say this in like a negative way, but it's going to sound negative. It's almost like it's easier for them to develop it this way rather than making a linear game with action set pieces and everything, like building up to cool moments. So they're trying to sell it, I guess, a different way. But multiplayer, we've got 16 maps from Modern Warfare 2. All 16 launch maps have been modernized both graphically and with meticulous attention given to the authenticity and etc., etc. I'm not going to keep talking their marketing jargon there. So 16 multiplayer maps from MW2. Tac stance. The new tactical stance feature is a perfect middle ground between hipfire and aiming down sights when entering tight hallways and cramped rooms. Toggle tac stance on to improve weapon performance and win the fight. The operator unshoulders the weapon and holds it in a canted firing position. You can toggle in and out of tac stance dynamically. Tac stance trades precise accuracy for improved mobility and handling. Some spread to your fire will occur. This is all boring stuff. Moving
no, this
on.
is fundamental to the gameplay, though. Come on.
Sure, I guess.
That sounds like I'm doing a bit, but I'm not. I'm not.
Return to classic gameplay. Map voting returns. Classic mini map behavior with red dots. All chosen perks are available at the start of each match. Covert Sneakers perk allows for silent movement. Core multiplayer health is increased to 150, which is exciting to me. Movement in Modern Warfare 3 responsiveness. You can cancel slide animations, partial reloads. Mantling is faster. You can fire during and immediately after slidings. Tactical sprint durations are increased, etc., etc. There's a lot more there for multiplayer, but I think that kind of covers multiplayer. Then we've got Zombies, which is essentially an open world zombies experience, which many people are likening it to DMZ plus Outbreak, and it is PvE only. It's played on the new Warzone map. Well, this says 4-player squads. That's incorrect. It's 6-player squads up to 24 players. Buy stations, ammo depots, wall buys, mystery boxes, pack-a-punch are all there. Exfil with your rewards, and there's a cinematic story as part of Treyarch Zombie storyline. Of course, Treyarch is the one developing the Zombies piece. So, a lot there, but Modern Warfare 3, how are we feeling?
I think I'll go first. I think Gage has more like nuanced takes than I do. I'll start with Zombies, because this is what I think was my, will I buy this or will I not, depending on like the zombie news, because I think, Cold War, I think, is the game that I skipped, but I heard from people saying like Zombies is some of the most fun that I've had in Call of Duty in a long time because it was like done so well. Hearing that it's on the Warzone map, it was an immediate like, I think I'm gonna pass on this game. I would want to see more before I finalize the decision, but that was not exciting to me. I wish they would have had like a separate dedicated map and experience. Granted, like just because they're using a map doesn't mean the experience is going to be anything inferior, right? But I don't know. It feels like they're. Gage, help me out. It was sad. It was sad for me. I'm like, I want something different and fresh.
Right. It's tough because here's how I feel about it. Zombies in a Modern Warfare entry for me as a huge Zombies fan is a bonus just because we shouldn't have got it, wasn't expecting it. Zombies hasn't been in Modern Warfare. Would I have preferred round-based? Absolutely. There's nothing comes close to round-based Treyarch Zombies. And like you said, Cold War, I am one of those people that bought that game and almost exclusively only played Zombies, and it was fantastic. So yeah, would I have preferred to see something like that? Absolutely. But I mean, I wasn't expecting to get that, so the fact that we got Zombies in any form is a bonus. Now, for me personally, as somebody who enjoyed DMZ, I'm curious to try this and see what it ends up what it ends up being. But I fully, acknowledge and appreciate that for most people this is not a tantalizing sort of offer at all. Open combat missions, yeah, Dan gave a much more diplomatic rundown of that. The Gauge rundown of that is we've realized that instead of making 12 custom missions, we can make 6 and have 6 of those missions take place in the Warzone map. That's to me that's what open combat missions are. It looks the one that we saw is Verdansk, and I have a feeling that Verdansk is coming back, and all of those open combat missions will probably take place on the Battle Royale map, which, again, you want to get into arguments about lazy or not, that's besides the point. I think that we'll see a lot less, unique and sort of breathtaking locales in place for this open combat mission. So I don't think that's... This whole game seems like a total mixed bag. And then things like Daniel says, increased... health for multiplayer, like that. I like that. I like longer, as a general rule, the longer the time to kill in a shooter, the better. I think it promotes a higher skill gap. So there's certain things like that. The whole attack stance thing sounds interesting to me, where you can toggle instead of aiming down sights, you can pretty much do the laser thing in Modern Warfare 2 just without having to have the laser equipped. I think that's cool. I like that idea. I like that sounds like interesting. I want to hold my pistols like John Wick. Yes, please. That sounds cool. But I don't know. Mixed bag. we'll see. I'll probably be there day one. I don't know why, but I just feel like that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. Mixed bag is such a great way to put it. I saw the trailer. First of all, like calling it a gameplay reveal trailer, I think was a bit generous. Like it's in engine. I understand why they call it gameplay trailer, but it felt more like a kind of get an idea for the tone. You know, it's more like an actual teaser. Yeah, and I think I wanted a bit more to get all these details is great, but I would love to see it more like in action with like a longer kind of video format, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of it is exciting. A lot of it is not what I'm looking for in a Call of Duty experience. It feels like it very much feels like a halfway between a DLC and a full game, but they're charging me full price for it. So I'm very skeptical.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that's going to get me back is if I'm seeing the care that they put into multiplayer for these old maps. And I hear good things about the new stances and the actual gameplay loop. That might pull me back in. And if the zombies is good, then great. And if the campaign is enjoyable, then sure. But for me, it's still it's unfortunately wait and see until after release.
Yeah, I might be in that camp of let's wait till Black Friday and get it for $20 off.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah,
which I would not blame you guys at all. And like you said, like it's funny, Christian, because I think what you just said there about waiting to see multiplayer and the look and feel of all these maps that you know and love, I think that's the selling point for a lot of people. And it was, to me, the silence was deafening. The fact that this, again, the only sizzle reel we saw was of a campaign mission that takes place in a recycled Warzone map. They didn't bother to show any of that nostalgia, any multiplayer gameplay at all. And somebody else brought up a really good point, too, that we used to be getting Call of Duty reveals in June, and now it's late August, and we just got the tiniest little bit of gameplay, whereas before we would have already had a multiplayer breakdown, a campaign breakdown, and a cinematic trailer. So it's definitely not confidence-inspiring in my point of view. And I think we're all on the same page where when Activision says that this was planned from the start, that we were going to do this back-to-back just because we had to tell the story of Modern Warfare 3. Yeah. No, this was another fucking last-minute reshuffle. This game is absolutely being thrown together by, 5 different studios, all hands on deck. Like, this is not... it's not confidence-inspiring at all.
Yeah. But Ro's still excited.
Ro is very excited. Yeah. He got the Vault pre-order edition, I think, which comes with the Black Cell Battle Pass and 50 tier skips and 2 weapon vaults. And
wow,
pass up 50 tier skips, man.
Right? You don't even have to play the game. You can just pay us more money, and then you don't have to play the game. Isn't that fucking amazing?
Wait a minute,
what made me want to buy it. I didn't have to.
I just thought of something. So DMZ. Mm-hmm. DMZ is part of the free experience, right?
For Modern Warfare 2, yes.
So will the zombies experience be free?
Oh my god, that's brilliant, actually. It'll be interesting to see how they do that. Following the same logic, that should be the case. However, I'm guessing they're going to be looking at metrics, and they will probably decide last minute, if we need more sales, let's throw zombies in and behind the paywall. But that's a good point. Because it seems like the way it works is that you have your premium multiplayer campaign, and then you have your free battle royale plus the extra mode, which now is DMZ, right? So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I have a feeling that that'll entirely come down to whether or not they think it's worth it to lock that behind the paywall.
Interesting. Only one person knows, Bobby Kotick.
I hope it's free, man. That'd be perfect, and I wouldn't have to buy the game.
Okay. Moving into fantasy draft check-in. Little note here. Starfield's review embargo releases Thursday, August 31st at 9 a.m. Pacific.
Oh, it's
noon Eastern.
Thursday.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. Yeah.
So, yeah. And the game's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Says all the weird PlayStation Twitter accounts.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm kind of excited for this game.
I just want to say I'm not gonna describe anything because I know Dan's super spoiler sensitive, and that's fair. There's a gentleman that has been carelessly leaking footage on YouTube playing this game. It seems by the candor and the way this man speaks, It seems like this is a gentleman who just received his physical pre-order early. Definitely does not seem like a reviewer. And whilst smoking the fattest blunt I've seen, this man says, quote, "No offense, Todd Howard, this game's pretty good." That was this man's quote. So you know what? Take with that what you will. I'm excited.
I think this game's gonna hit. I think it's gonna be a very fun late summer game.
I think there's a 0.1% chance of this happening, but other people on the gaming leaks and subreddit have mentioned Todd Howard. If you could just pull some strings and get this man's quote on one of the sizzle reels, that would be absolutely hilarious. No offense, Todd. This game's pretty good. I would love that. I would love to see that pop up.
Oh yeah,
that'd be great.
All right, into the actual games that we got reviews for. Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon are upon us, Christian, and it is at an 85 on OpenCritic, giving Christian with an asterisk, 15 points until it is finalized. How are you feeling about that?
A lot of reviews in progress. Wake the dog up. This is both lower than I expected and higher than I expected. Armored Core is such a niche experience, like a very high skill floor, not easy, off-putting to a lot of people, even more so than the your Dark Souls and your other kind of From Software games. So in that regard is why I was expecting it maybe to be a bit lower, because it's at the end of the day it's still an Armored Core game, but it's accessible enough because they've learned everything in the past couple of years that. Maybe it could have been a bit higher. I think 85 is great. I think that's like the perfect middle ground. Be like, yeah, this is very much a game for someone who has maybe never experienced an Armored Core game before, but likes From Software to go in and you will do just fine. It will still be a hard experience. You'll still have the learning curve of figuring out your builds, but it's a very good game, and I'm excited. I will probably buy it tomorrow. Will I play it this weekend? I don't know. I'm busy.
Well, all I have to say, Christian, is Halo Infinite got a better OpenCritic score. Moving on to the other game here.
Yeah. All 12 of you guys are enjoying it too, by the way.
Hey, that's 12. That's 12 more than yesterday. Okay. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk has reviews as well, as Christian puts here, and I completely missed this one, so I apologize, Christian.
Yeah.
You got a whopping 0 points with 70 for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
I think I'm kind of fine with that. Would I have wanted more points? Absolutely. But at least it's not lower is my thing. And it takes up a spot. So I'm not going to miss out on points by not filling in one of these. You know what I mean?
True.
If I paid for a game and then it gets delayed out of this year, I don't get any sort of I just lose that spot.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
And you're gonna get a bunch of negative points, so your score is gonna be negative for sure.
Good. I was worried that I might accidentally win this time, but it's good to see that that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's good.
Each counter pick that you're missing, you lose 15 points each, so that's negative 30 right there. So, rip.
Good.
Sorry, Gage.
No, I mean, when I have more points, more problems, right? So that's really good.
True. All right, moving into what you got for me. I'll fly through mine here since I've took us so long here. Black Ops 1, I played with Glenn, and I instantly regretted it because we got 6 rounds in with zombies, and Glenn just sucks and got downed immediately, and every single time. So we played 3 times, and he got down first every time. So
that sounds like Glenn, yeah.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 1 beta I played as well. Very fun. I'm very excited for that launch. The gameplay is really good, and that's coming from someone who just mashes buttons. I don't practice combos or anything. I just mash buttons. So, and then FanFest Trivia was today, and again, it was all right. Initially, I messaged you guys what the fuck? Their first round was something stupid that I was like, this isn't even based on games, and they had a round that was based around history or something, and I'm like, this isn't video games. This is what did Cleopatra wear in fucking 1798 or something? I don't know.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Nothing.
Yeah. But no, it was good, and I made top 500 at least, so I I got some prizes. 10,000 Microsoft points, I think, and then $50 Xbox Shop gift card.
Definitely not nothing. That's pretty cool.
That's decent. Yeah. So, Ro, what you got?
Yes. Nothing. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Nothing.
Let's go.
I am not gaming like I used to. I genuinely think the next game that I play is Sonic Superstars, which we'll talk about later.
Oh.
Got its release date, and that's 2 months from now.
I'm gonna send you a picture of something real quick to the PXN chat. I thought this was so funny.
Oh god.
Oh.
I'm scared.
I'm scared as well.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared? Don't be scared, baby.
Oh, now I'm more scared.
Yeah. More scared.
Why?
In the PXN Twitter?
Why are you walking away? Why are you scared? Come back.
I had to retake the photo. Apparently I deleted it, so I'm retaking it, and now it's sent. Bro, I feel you. This is so funny to me.
Yeah. I literally have 2 games as well.
So
Tears of the Kingdom and Hi-Fi Rush, and that's it.
Yeah, so I sent a picture of my backlogged list. It's a private list called 2023 Games Ranked, and I forgot to include a description, which is supposed to be every game I've played and beaten in 2023, and it's 2 of them. It's RE4 remake and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Lord help.
Am I gonna have a top 5 this year? I don't know.
For two games to play this year, those are both absolute bangers. I mean, I can only speak to Resident Evil 4, but
I'm halfway through FF16, so 2.5 games.
There you go.
So then, Christian, what you got for me then? Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. I've been working on a video essay, and the length on that is do you want to know the length?
Sure.
Above average.
It's nice one, good one, dude. That was funny. It's just over 2 hours.
It's over 2 hours.
Wow.
Just over 2 hours. It's my biggest.
That's kind of hype though. That's gonna be a snuggle up on the couch. Get myself situated with some popcorn, some other things, and just watch.
That's a confirmed length. You like started editing and all that stuff.
That is a confirmed length. Yeah, it's just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
So awesome. It usually in post it'll either go down a little bit or extend a little bit depending on what I need. So, but it's just over 2 hours so far. Yeah,
that's the Messias cut. So they still have the executive producers are going to come in and tell them to cut it down. Yeah, it's too long.
It's actually only going to be 45 minutes, and that's what the studios decided is all that's needed.
Yeah,
you can watch the first. Go watch the first 83 seconds of it on my Twitter.
Hell yeah,
it's available.
Now, am I correct in? Go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say what you got for me.
I have had not a lot. However, I've got some exciting news today. I found out that there is a retro game store. Well, it's an everything game store, but retro game store nearby that's been around for quite a while. I was just kind of browsing, looking for something to do. I went over, and I decided to pick myself up a Game Boy Advanced SP.
Let's go!
With the game that I spent so much time with in my childhood. And oh my god, I'm so excited to play this at work because I have so much downtime at work now. Pokemon Sapphire. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. I'm jumping back in. I'm so excited. I'm giddy. The guy, he booted up for me. He's walking me through it. And just hearing that startup chime, I'm so excited.
So good.
That's a good chime. It's a good starting chime.
It is. I'm very, very excited to get back into that and give that a go. So you guys will be having my Pokemon Sapphire review sometime shortly after almost 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Was it We Got Games, the store that you went to?
Yes. Yeah. That was the one.
Yeah. I've been there once. I got my GameCube from them.
The guy was super nice. I don't know when you went, but like it's super clean, super everything's laid out, organized, and stacked properly, and they've got steel books all over the place and totally fair prices. Yeah, really, really cool stuff.
What a fine establishment.
Legitimately.
Hell yeah.
And Pokemon Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's unrelated. Please, Pokemon Sapphire.
I was gonna say, and Pokemon Sapphire was fairly priced, is what I was about to ask you, because I know Pokemon games resell for like crazy high prices.
I picked again. This is purely a nostalgia and time killing thing for me. I don't care about collectability, so I got a reproduction. and they're only charging $29.99, I think, for.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
for that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Now, if you wanted to buy the original Pokemon Sapphire, I think it was like over $100, right? But,
wow. Christian, what were you gonna say?
I forgot to say that I did play Minecraft this week. I went into the Nether, and I learned that the Nether has changed since the last time I played Minecraft. It looks it's crazy in there.
You have babies in the Nether?
All right. Well, let's move on.
No. Minecraft.
Stupid ass. That one's not that funny. Pretty smart though.
Moving into the topic of the show, because Gage is going to have to get out of here soon, so we're going to have to fly here, boys.
True, yes.
Gamescom opening night. Yes. Gamescom opening night live was presented. First, I just want to say I feel bad for Jeff. The second time in a row almost of him getting interrupted. I guess not at Summer Game Fest, but the Game Awards last year and now this with the Bill Clinton crew that came up wanting GTA 6.
Messed up.
And it wasn't even funny. It's not even. This one wasn't even funny. It was just
all
right, dude.
He's definitely trying to be that guy and ended up
he's
being
not that guy.
That guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I just say too, like, how do we? I want to get everybody's opinion. How would we feel, honestly? Don't think about what the public opinion is. I want to know what your opinion is. Would it have been fair for Jeff to be more aggressive with this guy? Because I was thinking about this. Maybe not a haymaker, but like this guy, like he's so Canadian, and like I get it, but like he's just okay. Back, like I was like I would have. I don't know who you are. I would have been very much more like I don't know. I feel like I would have handled it differently. I know he's on stage and the cameras are on.
That's the thing.
Like, I feel like he would have been well within his rights to extend an arm and been like, back the fuck up. We're not doing this again. Stop. I don't know. I feel like he was too kind. But I mean, that's Canadians, I guess.
Yeah, he's in presentation mode. He's like smiling for the first like half of it, you know.
But like I can see the discomfort and the frustration, and like it's one of those things where it's like you are absolutely definitely not allowed to be up here. So I would have given him a pass. You know what I mean? I've been like that kid's an idiot. I don't know. Super unfortunate.
At least be a little bit meaner in your speech too.
Yeah, stiff arm him and just say enough.
That's what I meant, right? Like, and I don't know if he would have gotten articles about that or anything like that, but I feel like that would have been totally fair.
Definitely would have.
I think they would have been in his corner. I think everyone would have been in his corner.
I don't know. I would have hoped that's how that played out, but I don't think that. I don't know.
What are they paying security for?
Yeah,
right. Exactly, right.
Escort them off the stage after they do the thing, not before or prevented.
They were like, slow too to actually react to it.
God forbid somebody actually wants to hurt Jeff. You know,
or anyone like they had
or anyone had the audience.
Right.
What was the mummy they walked out there on the last Game Awards? You know, one of the A-list Hollywood actors they walked out.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like you have people like, I mean, just recently Drew, a totally different industry, probably there's no overlap here, but like you had something like Drew Barrymore, right? Yeah. Like the Game Awards is getting to, and this was Gamescom, but like they're getting to the point where they have really famous people there. Like you guys got to step it up a little bit. And that's just why I was curious what you guys thought about that. Like I'm surprised he wasn't more firm just to kind of dissuade people from doing this shit and this becoming a running meme.
Yeah.
If not Jeff, at least the security gets a few whoops.
Somebody, like, right? Exactly.
Paid to do that.
I'll do it.
Christian security.
Like bruises from a body check are not forever, but it's a good reminder not to do dumb shit. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right, here we go. The announcements. Gamescom opening night live.
Were there any?
You have to see open combat missions for Modern Warfare 3. What are you talking about?
You're right. Let's see them.
So they led off with a talk by Todd Howard as well as a Starfield live action trailer teasing the spacefaring adventures to come. So
great vibes in the trailer.
Very cool vibes. Of course, it's live action, so it doesn't show any game stuff, but yes, very cool vibe trailer. By the way, make sure you guys stop me because I'm going to try and fly through these if you want to talk about it. Zack Snyder reveals Rebel Moon's explosive first trailer and part 2 release date. So 2-parter. Boom.
Love seeing movie trailers at Gamescom.
Yeah. Yeah. Call of
You got to
Duty.
pay for the show somehow, Gage.
Yeah, that's true.
Security's not going to pay for itself.
Nice.
Cheap ones. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 got a gameplay trailer. Of course, that was missing from their event for the campaign mission that they showed off, Operation 627.
Didn't even watch this. Was this cool?
It was interesting. I thought I thought it was interesting, but that's the nicest way I could say it. It was not anything exciting, but I don't know. It was just like a basic stealth mission, which is interesting to me because I like stealth. So, which I guess that's part of their combat thing. Now I'm going back down the rabbit hole we already talked about, but yeah. Okay. Thanks, Alexa. Alexa! Stop! Fuck!
Stop!
Yeah. Diablo 4 Season 2 is called Season of the Blood. It adds Vampire Hunter Companion to the fold. It's coming October 17th.
You skipped one.
I did? Oh, fuck, I did. How did I skip that one? That's the best one. Alan Wake 2 showed off a brand new trailer as well, featuring the Dark Place, which this has me fucking... Every time I see this game, I just want more of this game. Thought it was really cool. They're going to mix like live action with gameplay, which I really liked them doing that in Quantum Break. Yeah. I really liked that stuff, and this seems to like take it a bit further than that. So yeah, I'm very excited about what they're gonna do with Alan Wake 2. It looks good.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 looks to be a good game. Maybe Dan will finish it.
I'll try. It's releasing in a hellish time.
Sure. Oh, because of all the Canadian wildfires?
Jesus.
Oh no.
Our country is burning and people are losing their homes. That's correct.
Yeah. You know who else is losing their homes? Mortal Kombat 1 fighters that have been revealed. 2 new ones. That Sindel and General Shao will be joining the roster. Motaro and Shujinko will also be added as cameo characters. And that fucking trailer was brutal.
That was insane. It's really good.
You know, seeing these kinds of trailers for Mortal Kombat, I start to understand why people like, you know, during the Super Nintendo age would be like, we can't show our kids these games. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right.
Some of this stuff is disgusting.
Really gnarly. Yeah, there was one guy that I don't remember the character. I don't know any of the characters' names, but there was a hair lady who threw somebody on their back and then pulled them by their legs and then like ripped them in half from the splits. It was awful.
Someone needs to do that to me.
Whoa.
Good lord.
Do you know what? Can we just acknowledge though that probably the most fun gig you'll ever get in the games industry is probably being a sound designer for a Mortal Kombat game.
Oh my god.
And probably spending 8 hours a day for months on end just smashing fruit and scraping leather together and coming up with all these awful sounds.
That does sound pretty fun, actually.
And another fighting game, Tekken 8. It's a release date revealed of, I almost said October again, January 26, 2024. We have enough October games.
You gotta stop, guys.
Yeah.
You gotta stop releasing games in October.
Yeah. They also showed off a look at the game's single-player mode that looks to honor the old and wonderful days of the arcade scene. We got a...
Nice.
Hell yeah. We got a new look at Assassin's Creed Mirage, which focuses on Baghdad in the 9th century, which I thought was very cool. I didn't realize that the game features a full Arabic voiceover that they recorded lines for. I thought that was actually pretty fascinating.
Very nice. Underrepresented in a lot of spaces, particularly games, so that's cool.
Yeah. Cyberpunk Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 is coming to the base game alongside Phantom Liberty with our brand new gameplay trailer. Of course, they've talked about this a few times already. It's coming September 26th. Teased a bunch of new things. Dangerous new district, dozens of new story quests and gigs, vehicle combat and mounted weaponry, revamped police system, combat AI overhaul, endless dynamic events, redesigned cyberware, all new relic skill tree, increased level cap, and 100 plus new items. Basically a new game.
Oh yeah.
The one that yep, you're gonna make the same joke. Go ahead.
Yeah, joke. I was just gonna be serious about it. This is the type of CD Projekt Red that we like to see.
Oh yes, I agree.
I think if you own the game and don't buy the DLC, you get those changes too. I think the DLC is just
hell yeah.
I don't know if that was mentioned.
The
already,
new content.
Yeah, the DLC is just the new content. Yeah, which is good because, like Christian said, this is what they should have launched with.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, did you see David and Lucy are like emblems in like the skill tree row?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Little edge runners.
Edge runners.
No, cool.
I started that series and never finished it. Fuck me.
God damn.
That's a very Dan thing to do.
I know. I very much enjoyed it too. What I watched.
You finished season 1 of Halo. I bet.
Yeah, you're right. I did, Christian.
Somebody remind me the next time we start an episode and it's towards the beginning. We can get into edge runners.
All right.
Wait, what?
Sonic Superstars has a release date of, you guessed it, October 17th, 2023.
What are they doing? God,
That's
I'm
the
very
same day as
excited for this
something
game,
else. No, that used to be Alan Wake's release date. It's no longer.
Yeah. Now it's Sonic Superstars Day.
Get out of the way, Alan Wake.
Superstars.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait.
But that's
Very
not
excited.
all the Sonic row. Sonic Frontiers, the final Horizon update, is coming this year with a new story, new playable characters, and new challenges.
And a new
Hell yeah.
supersonic form.
Indeed, he's got blue eyes now.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer showed absolutely nothing besides the Sonic form, but I am excited. No gameplay or anything, but we know what Sonic Frontiers gameplay looks like now. So it's okay. I don't mind. I just want to
Does Sonic
something.
not regularly have blue eyes? What color eyes does he have?
They're green, but Supersonic's eyes are red, but now they're blue.
Now they're blue. They're blue now.
That's better.
Exactly. Better than red eyes, apparently.
Right?
If his eyes were original,
Sonic's eyes are green?
yes, they are green, and its supersonic eyes are red, and these new eyes are blue. You're right.
Green Eye Gang represent. Let's go.
Quantic Dream announces that they are publishing Dustborn from developer Red Thread Games. It is a narrative-driven action-adventure game that is set in an alternate version of America. It's described as one about hope, love, friendships, robots, and the power of words.
Yay. It's reminding me of another indie game called Road 96.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
There was also a game that Dan wanted us to play that I downloaded and then we never played, so I deleted it a couple months ago.
I wanted you to play?
Mm-hmm. There was a game where one of the characters looked like Alex Van Aken. An Xbox Game Pass game.
Oh, you remember the name of it? I know what you're talking about. It's the
but you know what
one
I'm
made
talking
of
about,
like still image.
Yeah, it was still images, like watercolor images, and you like it's dialogue.
Oh, as Dust
tree.
Falls?
Yes. There
you go.
I wanted you to play that? I haven't even played it.
Well, you wanted us to play it together. You made us all download it, so I did.
Did I?
And then we never played it.
Oh. That sounds like something I'd do.
We should do that. That would be fun because whether or
Let's
not
do
the
it.
game is
Let's do it
good.
Do it now.
Okay.
We're on Pummel Party now.
Thank goodness You're Here is a new game by studio behind Untitled Goose Game, Panic Inc. It is a quirky game with a distinct hand-drawn art style and a wonderful wackiness that needs to be seen to be believed. We catch a glimpse of someone's pants falling down while they're looking at a sign that says normal milk, someone bouncing off of someone else's butt, and much more.
Nice.
Yeah, it reminds you of like cartoons.
Sure.
Thanks, Jeff. Back to you.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like some of the animation, not the whole times, but like some of them reminds of like the Adventures of Flapjack or something. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of Chowder, but anyway. All right, whatever. Fucking move on then. Move on.
Sure.
Just some.
I'm sorry for opening my mouth.
Revealed at Gamescom for the third time, Little Nightmares 3 has been announced. The other two games were also announced at previous Gamescoms as well. This game will have co-op gameplay between two characters as well. They also announced a new podcast series called The Sounds of Nightmares.
Nice. Oh, spooky.
Yeah. We also got another look at Black Myth Wukong, which is another action-packed samurai-esque, like, aren't they like monkeys though or something?
All right, well, that's very ignorant of you. This is based on Wukong, the actual Chinese myth, and it's an action RPG, Souls inspired.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Dan, your lack of Chinese historical cultural knowledges is unacceptable.
I don't know.
It's true. You're actually playing as him. You're actually playing as the myth. So in the enemies are like the enemies that he faces in the actual myth.
Gotcha.
Yes, Dan, he is a monkey though. You are absolutely correct.
Okay. The gameplay looked awesome.
Yes. It does. Really it does look awesome. Didn't we get a story last year though that this is one of those like the day before games that maybe there's a good chance doesn't actually exist in the way that we think it does?
No, this is very much a real game. It's been in production for a long time. There's been like developer updates. The only story that we got last year is that it came out that I think the lead developer, like the guy in charge, is like very openly misogynistic and very anti-women. Like he's like very anti-women. Like those quotes are insane. So, like, if you don't want to support that, I would understand.
Jesus.
Huh. I'll have to look into that because I didn't hear that. I heard something completely. There might be multiple things going on with this. Interesting, but that's no bueno. The game does look good though.
I think the reason why you can say that is because like a lot of games feel like they're not real games, but like China has been going through like a renaissance to like where they are funding a lot of these projects, and they are I have a whole list now of just like games from Asia, but a lot of them are like Chinese games, but they have like PlayStation is in supporting it as well too. They have an actual like fund that goes directly towards Chinese underrepresented Chinese developers to make like AA games like this.
Okay, interesting.
Marvel Snap.
Then again, I think Sony also gave money to Blue Box, so
right.
There's another game that we'll get to later that I feel like, how is this real? But it's a little further down though.
Marvel Snap is available now on Steam, guys. I'm so excited.
Now?
Yeah. I don't know. Huh? I haven't played in a while, but that game's actually really fun on mobile.
I've heard.
Yeah. Medieval Fighter Warhaven has a release date of September 21st, 2023. 16v16 multiplayer battles. Pretty much what you would expect from a medieval game. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which that's such a fucking JRPG name, like that,
absolutely
right there. Yeah, gets a February release date of February 1st, 2023 on PS5, PS4, and PC.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh yeah, I legitimately thought this was a Final Fantasy game until I saw the title.
This is the one that we saw a little while ago that I thought was a Tales of Arise game. But it wasn't.
Gotcha.
So racist, Dan.
What?
Not all Final Fantasy games. Not all JRPG games look the same.
Or Final Fantasy games.
To be fair, isn't there another Final Fantasy game that has the subtitle Relink, or am I crazy?
Maybe Probably Rebirth or one of
those. Rebirth. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I apologize. It's all my wheelhouse.
And you should.
Nightingale opening night live trailer has revealed a further early access release date delay of February 22nd, 2024. Plays a realm walker who travels through portals in a procedurally generated universe filled with survival, crafting, gameplay, quests, and evolving narrative and more.
One's on my radar, only because I enjoy that survival genre.
Funny enough, the next game is on my radar.
And the next game could be considered a survival game, right? Expeditions, a mud runner game. You're trying to survive the game. It's a driving simulator where you off-road to your heart's content.
That sounds fun. I played I played one of their shipping ones where it's like I think it might have actually been called Snow Runner or something like that. But I played one of their ones, and you have to manage your gear ratios and all. And it is fun. You kind of get into the zone. You put in some beats, and you just kind of. So if there's if there's more if it's less economy sim based and more like squat up with your buddies and drive through the mountains and try and master the terrain,
dude.
Sign me up for it. Absolutely.
I would play that. Yes, I've seen clips of like people playing like other games like this co-op, and it looks like so much fun just to fuck around and sim it up with someone
and have some more like consumer like production vehicles instead of like all these 18 big wheeler, which I can't appreciate. I'm sure that truckers out there absolutely they love these games, but yeah, a more like a arcade-esque type version of this game sounds great. Absolutely, sign me up.
Stormgate's latest developer has updated. Stormgate's latest update sheds light on the Infernal Host. Okay, Stormgate is an upgrading. Oh, that's right. This is the game that's similar to that Blizzard game. Fuck, what's the name of it? Forgetting. The RTS. Help me out, someone. Fuck.
Blizzard RTS. I don't even know.
I was gonna say Blizzard RT. Warcraft?
It's not Warcraft, right?
That is their big. That's the one I can think.
Starcraft.
Thank you.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
That was just a random guess.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a free-to-play RTS from ex-Blizzard devs. And this one actually looks kind of fascinating. I'm interested to give this one a go. If I could remember what it likens to. Crimson Desert has gotten a gameplay trailer which shows off tons of new mechanics. Players could include sword combat, toppling structures, bow and arrow fighting, fighting on horseback, fishing, hijacking carriages, petting dogs, and much more.
This is the one that I thought was like, there's no way this is real. But it is. It looks like
people are like digging this. And I saw this and I was like, no, there's no thank you. This is not for me.
What's the title of this game, sorry?
Crimson Desert.
Oh, okay. I have seen. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not for you, Christian.
No, I mean it's a bit too derivative. I'm not in the place to be playing more like dozen-hour RP open world kind of games like this. Like I'll pick the ones that look appealing to me. This is just not it.
The horse can drift, if that helps.
That's cool, but I did see that. But I think I'm okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bulletstorm got a VR Gamescom opening night live trailer confirming December 14th, 2023 release date. Could be cool. I'm gonna try and fly through these. Age of Empire 4 Anniversary Edition is available now on Xbox. Let's go.
Dan, we're gonna play that.
I'm down. Game Pass. Killing Floor 3 is announced at Gamescom opening night live. Brutal.
Fighting game.
Wait, no, this
Killing Floor is not a fighting game.
This is the FPS, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's Tripwire. I like Tripwire a lot. I was we'll see. This might be fun.
What is Xbox's fighting game that I'm thinking of? What is
Killer Instinct.
Kill it there, thank you.
Yeah. Armored Core 6 got a official launch trailer.
Yeah.
The Last Epoch got an official Rune Master first look trailer. Sure.
That's pronounced epic.
What?
It's definitely not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so. The Crew Motorfest got a gameplay trailer. I may have. Never mind. Fort Solace got an official launch trailer.
Mixed reviews on Steam.
Good review.
Mixed reviews on Steam. Oh, I don't know critic reviews.
It's like 60 on OpenCritic.
Okay.
So,
great cast.
Do you guys really not believe me on Epic though?
Epoch? No.
No.
Epic pronounced epic.
No, there's no way. I've said Epoch my entire life. There's no way.
Man, save the gaslighting for the very tail end of the podcast.
You're gonna tell me the guy with the masters won't know how to say epic, the one who also like almost majored in geology, where I had to learn the geologic timescale?
Why'd they spell it that way?
Yeah, that's stupid. No, I don't accept it. I just Googled it and she said it the same way you're saying. I don't accept it. I don't accept it.
It's wrong. The world is wrong.
Yeah.
The one's that.
Lords of the
Nice,
Fallen.
dude.
Lords of the Fallen got an official extended story trailer. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't care.
May they stand up.
Yeah. Genshin Impact got a concert reveal trailer. We got a concert going,
Got a concert.
I will not be attending.
We will not be there.
Honkai Star Rail official PS5 trailer.
All right.
Another. This is just like back to back.
You can tell this is the part where they stopped caring. IGN even stopped writing descriptions.
Hoyoverse, yeah. But finally, though, we get like some more info on Z's. I'm waiting for that to drop.
Zenless Zone Zero trailer.
Yeah, another MiHoYoverse game. But Z's looks cool.
Payday 3 is getting an official Ice-T mission, which they showed a trailer for that.
He knows a lot about heists in real life. His words, not.
Yeah. Delta Force got an official gameplay trailer.
Lots of questionable animations in that one that looked very similar to other games.
Homeworld 3 story trailer. Yeah.
Just keep going, dude.
Mandragora official gameplay trailer. Yeah, sure. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin got an official release date trailer.
Age of Sigma, let's fucking go, dude. Let's go.
That sounds like a Dan Fantasy Critic pick. Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Era History Untold official story trailer. That was the fucking game that had a bunch of stupid history questions in FanFest. Fuck.
Stupid fucking history, dude.
All right, let's tone it down here, guy.
And that's the end of Gamescom. So, an average showing. I mean, Jeff set our expectations, though. So
I'm glad I did not watch it live. It was like a 2-hour show plus something like that.
Yes. Yep. Agreed. All right, gents. Anything else before we close out?
Yeah. I think this just came out today or yesterday, but the Game Awards comes back December 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exciting.
Are we going to be watching together?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Nice.
Join us for that in December. But before then, thank you to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
Woo! See ya.
Thank you, Kirik.
You're a real one. Ace as always.